Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 7, and this will be my trailer breakdown for The Flash Season 7 Episode 11 titled Family Matters Part 2, and this is the final episode of the Forces storyline. So whether you are or you are not enjoying this half of the season, Episode 11 is the finale for graphic novel number 3, and then we will be going on to graphic novel number 4 with the whole Godspeed storyline, which is very exciting. But oh boy, that last episode, it was pretty bad. If you guys saw my review and breakdown for episode 10, you guys know that I really didn't like last episode. Apart from that cliffhanger was insane. But most of this season has suffered with some poor quality writing and a bunch of pep talks and talking down the villain and the whole power of love stuff. Now that doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy season 7 so far. Although I acknowledge its flaws, it's my third favorite season already, and the only episodes I really consider bad to awful are episodes 3, 7 and 10. So really I loved other episodes besides those three. But yeah, after what I saw from last episode, I'm going to keep my expectations low for this coming episode, and I will get more in detail in regards to why when I break the trailer down. But the only thing which gives me that, little bit of hope is that Chad Lowe is directing this episode, and he did do season 6 episode 7 as well as season 7 episode 2, which are one of the best episodes of the whole show. But again, that's directing, not writing, so I'm still going to keep my expectations low because I was just so frustrated with episode 10. All the power to you guys if you guys enjoyed episode 10 or episode 3 and 7. Or the other episodes in general, whether you guys liked them or you didn't like them. I just wasn't a fan of episode 10 for my obvious reasons, such as the power of love stuff, the whole family dynamic with the cringy sister, brother, mother and father thing which they added. I just find it so lazy, so cringy and just so overdone. And the ton of pep talks we've been getting with the lack of action, and also making our main character incredibly nerfed for the plot and making him wrong every single time, and just a bunch more reasons in general. I do acknowledge those flaws, and I don't like to be fake. If I don't like something, I will say it. So I want to be as transparent as I possibly can with you guys. So I loved episodes 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9, but episodes 3, 7 and 10 were very problematic and I just didn't like them. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. Also, before I go over the trailer itself, I will go over the synopsis for the episode, as it does give us a better idea in regards to what we should expect for this episode. And right off the bat, I would say the synopsis scares me, and you guys will see why in a second. So the synopsis goes as followed. Barry and Iris come together to try and stop a dangerous force from destroying Central City. So yeah, it is a very vague synopsis, since after all it is the finale for the storyline. But you guys would have heard me say this if you guys watched my review from last episode, and just saying it now, I don't hate Iris. She was probably one of my favorite parts of season 6, but as I said during yesterday's video, there is a time when Iris should get into danger, such as the Joseph Carver storyline and her whole investigation thing with Black Hole. That was freaking awesome. I loved that. But there are times when she just shouldn't. This is a time when she shouldn't. These are godlike beings who have powers. This is a situation where our main hero should get in the spotlight, not her. She would be useless against these people. And yeah, I do understand that it could be related to the whole connection thing with the forces, but no, she should be far from this danger as possible. From the synopsis, I'm guessing this is referring to the final battle scene with the forces, since from the events of episode 10, well, Iris, Psyche and Alexa are all dead. The Speed Force killed them. And since Iris is alive when being mentioned in the synopsis, this would mean that all the forces are back and they are not dead towards the end. Now, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to show you guys the trailer due to copyright issues, and I do know that most content creators do play the trailer on their videos. However, I just don't want to deal with disputing the copyright claims and things like that. So if you guys haven't seen the trailer, go watch it and then come back later for this trailer breakdown. But the trailer kicks off with Barry looking over the dead bodies of Psyche, Alexa, and Iris, and it seems like they're all dead, saying that we do literally have Barry crying while looking at their bodies. Now we do know they will eventually be back. I'm guessing Barry will do some connection reviving thing with Dion to bring them back, or will Barry time travel and bring them back with Dion? Time travel and bring them back? I don't know, but it will be very interesting to see how this plays out. The thing with this is something I'm very happy about, and it is because Barry is all alone. He finally is getting the focus he deserves. And after all, this show is called The Flash, not Team Flash, and this season has mainly pushed it so it's Team Flash. So seeing Barry kind of alone over here does raise the stakes a little, and it does get me excited. And Barry does have to do things on his own, and I just love that. I really, really do. But we do have Cisco and Chester helping Barry to an extent over here, but Barry is all alone. Cisco and Chester have no idea in regards to what they could do against the Speed Force. After all, it is the source of energy which gives Barry his speed, and it is a godlike being, so this would be pretty interesting to see how they will resolve all of this. Now we do have like a countdown clock on the screen, and I'm guessing this has something to do with the Force's final plan or something, the Speed Force's final plan. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, whenever there's a countdown, it does make things a bit more intense, and I am interested to see where it goes. But also we do know that our hero will eventually save the day, but how is the question. Now we do have Barry confronting Dion, and the thing over here is Dion is the only remaining Force who is alive, and it seems like he will be siding with Barry for this episode, so it will be interesting to see what changes his mind. But Dion does mention that killing the Speed Force is the only way to keep the other forces safe. So judging from that, I'm guessing the other forces are alive at this point. I'm not sure, I could be totally wrong about that, but obviously that's not happening. But I pray to God it's not like, resolved with talking the Speed Force down through like a pep talk or something. This is the finale, and I want to see some action. Now if I had to guess how they will face off the Speed Force, I would say that Dion, Psyche, Alexa, and Barry will team up together and they will face off the Speed Force. I just think that will happen, and maybe something happens to the other forces. I'm not sure about that. But in the next shot, we do have the Speed Force telling Barry that she will have to kill him. Now, obviously, this could be changed in the trailer to be misleading. It could be that she's saying, I will kill you to Dion. And it just shows a shot of Barry over here, so we think that she's saying it to Barry. But I don't know. But this does make me seem like we could potentially get a cool speedster battle between the Speed Force and the Flash. But I'm not going to assume that because I just don't want to end up getting disappointed. But I'm not gonna lie, this does seem pretty intense in the same way. And the Speed Force's powers are evolving like we heard in the trailer. But it will be interesting to see how Barry faces off the Speed Force or even defeats her, because as I said, this is the source of energy which gives Barry his speed. So, and also like during episode 8, when Barry threw the lightning at the Speed Force was moving literally at super speed while Barry was still. So it will be very interesting to see how Barry will be able to face off against her. For sure we'll see him struggle. This is the Speed Force after all, so it will be very, very cool to see how this goes. Now, I wanted to mention this theory I had because I just think that it's very, very interesting. I'm not sure if it's quite far-fetched or not, but I think it's very interesting, and I will probably do like a theory video about this soon because I personally find this very, very cool. But I think Barry will actually end up destroying the Speed Force and somehow absorb her energy and grab hold of her powers. And basically this would lead into Barry becoming the living embodiment of the Speed Force. That would be a very, very cool ending. I don't know how far-fetched it is. Maybe it could end up happening, maybe not. But I think that Barry will be pushed over the edge and he does end up becoming the Speed Force. So maybe like the Speed Force threatens Iris or something. Let's say she got rid of the other forces, or maybe they're just pinned down or something and she's about to kill them, and Barry like loses it and ends up destroying the Speed Force because he's unable to actually defeat her because he's so much slower than her. And maybe through the help of the other forces, even though like they've been weakened or something, maybe the help of the forces were able to weaken or make the Speed Force a bit more vulnerable, and Barry would take the chance and destroy the Speed Force in some way. How will he do it? I have no idea, but I think Barry will end up destroying the Speed Force, and then he ends up becoming the Speed Force. Because if you think about it, the Speed Force has literally become a villain right now. So like, it doesn't really make sense if we do have the Speed Force appearing now, because she's been a villain, so I don't know how that will work. So I think the best option is that they get rid of this version of the Speed Force, and then Barry eventually evolves and becomes the living embodiment of the Speed Force. And if they do actually do that, it will open some very interesting storylines as well. And if it does actually happen, I'm all in for it. I think it will be very, very cool to see. And yeah, let's see how this episode plays out. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below how excited you guys are for episode 11, aka the finale for graphic novel number 3. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.